somehow I was invited to Japan a few months ago. I gave the exact talk. They liked it. I thought I would deliver the same message to you today. I do have a co-author. Many presentations like that don't, but I do. His name is David Johnson of ABS Consulting. He is a specialist on PRA. We've been working on this for about a year, okay? And I will introduce him a little bit more, give you more detail later in my presentation. You shall see. Next. I'm going to tell you today what the real cause for the Fukushima accident. And it is not tsunami. And after I tell you that, I will tell you how we should do to fix the big problem we have at hand. Next. Now, a few months ago, US NRC began to tell US utilities, you, the utilities, shall prepare a response to me for my evaluation, me, the NRC, you, the utility company, and tell me how you shall prepare yourself for the beyond design basis accident station blackout. Those words, NRC. Those words, that statement like that, means a lot, means something totally different. And I'm going to deliver that message to you today. Think, any product you are using, a machine, a device, a refrigerator in your house, a consumer product we use every day. They all, each has their own design basis. The design basis for that product was either meant for featured functionality or for the safety measures. We understood that. But when we begin to use the word beyond design basis, something is terribly wrong with that device, with that product. Anything. Don't talk about design basis accident. If we begin to talk about the beyond design basis accident, we have a problem. We have a fundamental problem. Next slide, please. This is my most favorite chart, a very important chart. And I'm willing to spend 1 minute, even 2 minutes on this chart alone to explain to you what I mean. This is the essence of how a nuclear power plant is designed. I took this chart from a report, just a portion to illustrate a point. This column here is a list of design basis accident. Each power plant designed now, operating now, designed 40, 50 years ago. They were all designed to protect against this list of design basis accident. A typical plant may have 30 of them, 35, 40. They're all very similar. Rod ejection, turbine trip, load reduction, and so forth. I pick up this chart from a particular plant just to make the point. That is the scrap set point. A reactor should be scrapped because the steam generator level is too high. Scrap. The neutron flux level is too high. The power went up. Unexpected. We don't like it. Scrap. This chart was originally meant for that purpose. If you look at the scrap set point, and you see the cross or check, It means that strand set point is meant to address the corresponding design basis accident. This is the chart originally meant to be. And I'm using what I just said. I'm using what you're looking at as a starting point. So give me one more minute. The entire nuclear power plant has such chart. And the invisible columns all here will give you the set points, the technical specification of the entire power plant. Any operating procedure, abnormal operating procedure. Very good, I got a pointer here. Okay. Now look at the chart here. There's nothing there. And I tell you what the chart there is. That's the operating procedure. In the Philippines, the abnormal operating procedure power plant, that number, if the flow is too high, pump to trip, that column is invisible. It's meant to address certain design basis accident there. As a matter of fact, this chart should go all the way from here to the basement of the breakfast room we have this morning. That chart is the essence of how a nuclear power plant is designed. That chart is how a nuclear power plant is designed to protect against. This is how a nuclear power plant designed against this particular number of so-called design basis accident. Let me give you 3 stories about this. I work in a nuclear power plant outside the United States. The plant management is very smart. A group of young nuclear engineers came to me, Jason, there could be such chart. I call it a big chart exists. If I'm a utility get a hold of the chart, then I do not have to rely on vendor from this point on. I can do my reload myself, because every reload means that I perform all the analysis such that the original design basis was not violated. I can do it myself. I don't have to rely on vendor. If I want to replace an old pump with a new pump, the pump has certain specification. What pump should I replace, what use, to buy? I can do it myself. If you can figure out that particular pump is not violating those design basis accident, you can replace the pump yourself. Jason, should I get that chart from vendor? I said, you can try. Okay, you want to try. I'm willing to pay $100,000 to get the chart. The vendor smiled. Never ruin a relationship with customer. It's smart. Jason, that vendor doesn't seem to be interested in selling me the chart at $100,000. I smiled too. Boy, I got a call again. You know what? I'm even willing to spend $10 million and the vendor will not sell. The vendor got to call me and said, Jason, do you know about this? I said, I do. Story number 1. The ending of the story number 1 is vendor even don't want to sell this chart at $100 million. If sell that, vendor loses business to utility for the 40 years operating, you lose all business there. This is the essence of designing a nuclear power plant. Story number 2. I was a project manager at EPRI. I was going to do a very fascinating project. The name of the project, we call it Design Basis Navigator. We go to power plant, we figure out all the set point, the technical basis, the EOP, all the numbers you there associated with that. Create a chart like that. The project failed miserably. Why? Vendor did not cooperate. We could not find a good people to get this. We could not do it. There was such a chart. This true story is my own experience. I can tell you how important this chart, and what this chart, and what this chart will do. Like number 3 story. And I did not involve with the story, therefore I cannot vouch for the truth of the story. The story goes like that. You are on a US NRC went to a plane inspection. Mr. Vice President, do you know the set point of that equipment? He said, I don't know. Well, you don't know? Do you know the design basis? What's the design basis? That Vice President of the United States utility was fired. You can tell how important this chart really is. Okay, now the point. That list of design basis accident should have included a staging blackout 4 years ago. Without that, we had Fukushima. Now, the tsunami came out and it hit Fukushima and had an accident. And I just said, tsunami was not the cause for the Fukushima accident. Lacking the station blackout in the original design basis was. Why? Let me see this. That's what I just said. Let me tell you all the stories. So the tsunami did not get Fukushima, but the Missouri River flood get to Fort Capone last year. And we have lots of power. Boy, we were very nervous about whether diesel could come out or not. It did. That was the plan. That's the flood. This piece of hardware is called an output dam, surrounded to the plant. They have a difficult access to the plant. They have an impermissible condition. This is equally dangerous. Although the outcome was okay, but they face the same threat, just like Fukushima. If tsunami did not get Fukushima, sooner or later the flood will get one of these plants, our plant, one of these days, sooner or later. This is the French plan. Elias, 1999. If tsunami did not get to Fukushima, the storm, the wave, will get to the safety equipment in the plant. Fortunately, the crisis went over quickly. The safety equipment were not completely knocked down. They saved it, but it was cutting close. We are getting there. If we walk out of the store, we're heading south, 70 miles, and we all can go there Thursday. It's called Wine Shop. 2001, they have a genuine station blackout. They have lots of power. Boy, they will rely on the 2 design basis train of diesel to save the plant. And guess what? Both trains of diesel generator died. After the battery ran out. And that's just like Fukushima. If the tsunami did not get Fukushima, if the flood did not get Fort Capone, if the storm did not get the Malaysia plant, this will. This is the plan we are going to visit Thursday. Tech power people are smarter. They're doing better. But the safety plan is the 3rd train of diesel generator outside the design basis. Diesel start. Save the plan. If you're smart enough, you address something beyond design basis ahead of time, you're safe. You have not done that, you're not safe. That's the story I just told you. Well, our plants are very vulnerable. If tsunami did not get Fukushima last year, one of these days, one of our plant will do us. Why? Our design basis accident should have included station blackout. That's the fundamental problem we have to face it. Let's just face it. I can read a report. All the major institutes publish report. Every one of them. I read them all thoroughly. We should enhance communication. They should have addressed SAMG, Severe Accident Management Guidelines. They did not. Look at the communication they have. The culture, don't let them communicate that well. Fine. Say all those reports from 3 major institutes, 5 institutes, follow every instruction set in the report and done it all. Could Fukushima be saved? The answer is no. We have a more fundamental than that. I said I'm going to introduce co-authors, right? The one on the left is a co-author. His name is Jason Chao. The one on the right, his name is David Johnson. Does every speaker here has to introduce the co-author like this? 2007. This is co-author Jason Chao, that's co-author David Johnson. No, you don't have to introduce co-author like that. I had a picture here for a special reason. We met again. This is in a restaurant in a city called Zurich. We both happened to be visiting the same place for different business reasons. My trip was an epic trip. His trip was an ABS consulting trip. And we so happily met the plant. The plant, the city is outside the nuclear power plant called Basna. I said today, I'm going to tell you 2 things. I'm going to tell you what's the real cause for the Fukushima accident. The second thing I'm going to tell you is that now knowing that, how do we fix the big problem? This is how we fix it. When we visited the power plant, I was totally, utterly amazed, impressed. They have something, put it in. If everybody had done the same, there would be absolutely no problem. No Fukushima, no flood, no nothing, no station blackout. That system is called, and most Switzerland plants did the same thing, and some German plants did the same thing. It is called, I'm sorry, I pressed the wrong button. Bunker decay heat removal system. They all have that. Okay. What's a bunker? Bunker, the English meaning has 2 words. You reinforce structure so that the structure does not afraid earthquake. You shield the foreign object so the water will not come in. So it means literally as well as structurally, bunker system, they put an independent heat removal system in the bunker. That's what Switzerland did, and I was very impressed. And I didn't know that, and I found out about 2007. When Fukushima boom occurred, I called up plant again. My friend's name is Martin Rigner. We went through it over again. What's a bunker system? Okay. The bunker system basically can protect a power plant from station blackout. Bunker system, instead of going through the detail, let me tell the principle. It's only cost about $500 million to do that. There's another question raised after Fukushima. Well, how safe is power plant safe? Should we address the question again? The bunker system is my question that I asked for a long, long time. How safe is safe? My answer is, it's not safe enough properly. How safe is safe? And my answer is, it should be 30 times safer. Why? The bunker system basically has 3 major components. In principle, although it varies from plant to plant, you may have a nice subsystem 10 systems, but it should have 3 independent functions. Number 1, you have a bunkered, secured water source. Number 2, you have a bunkered, secure, protected power supply, a new diesel in addition, if you will. Number 3, you have heat removal system, heat exchanger. That's the, why 30 times more safer? The Benzow plant put the components, the substances one by one in their bunker decay heat removal system. Substance to 1, put a substance to 2, put a substance to 3, for the last so many years. Finally, the core meltdown, core damage frequency from original value down to the recent new value. Improvement effect of 3.0. So, some people say, Fukushima still doing his job. We designed it for. Nobody died from it. That's correct. Would that basis still be accepted by the public? No. There's something else we missed. And we talk about PRA, how the basis of PRA today, 40 years ago. We had not put one more element in. The element we had put in is that a nuclear power plant such as Fukushima had an accident like that, nobody died from that. That's exactly what we designed for. What we have not designed for is the loss of a property. They lose their property. That PRA-wise, we get it back by improving the safety factor of 30. Okay. This approach, right now, the world have a problem with nuclear power. We, nuclear engineering, will also have a problem. What's the problem? The problem is that, what's the problem? Shall we identify the problem? Shall we admit the mistake, correct the mistake, and move on? If we can reposition ourselves, we will be in the door of public acceptance again, not before that. Bunker system. This is hot off the press. 3 weeks ago, Nuclear News, August issue, French regulator announced by 2018 how supply system should be in a bunker system. Okay. 3 weeks ago. Now talk about one more slide. Now we're going to talk about retrofit. For lots of money. No, that's the point I'm trying to make. Ballpark-wise, roughly, say $10 million to cost to build a new power plant, but your electricity revenue every year is roughly about $2 million, maybe $1.3 billion, maybe $1 billion. The cost to install a bunker decay heat removal system is roughly $500 million. Financial-wise, we are still ahead by putting this in. Conclusion. I said today, I'm going to tell you what the true cause is for the Fukushima accident. And it's not tsunami. When I said station blackout, what do we do about it? Well, one of them could be a hard change put in the bunker decay heat removal system. I have one more last slide. After 3/11, I went to a party and had a dinner with friends, and a lot of private gatherings, including somebody I know, my family. They all came to ask one question. Jason, you're doing nuclear power, right? Is nuclear power safe? Even news reporter asked me that question. The title of this slide is, and that is the most dangerous question to answer. Now, think, nuclear is still safe. You lose credibility right then, instantly. Fukushima just had it 2 weeks ago. Okay. No, nuclear power is not safe. Oh, even Dr. Chao, nuclear engineering, Even he said nuclear power is not safe. That's not a fair question, nor a fair answer. So I replied this way. Peter, would you please ask me 5 questions instead? Question number 5. Is nuclear power safe? No. Well, does that mean that since you said nuclear power is not safe, shut down all the nuclear power plants then? No need to. Whoa, wait a minute, come on now. Question number 3. The nuclear power is not safe, and you're not shut down nuclear power plant. Does that mean that you're going to do something to nuclear power plant to make it safe? You bet you we will. Well, oh wow, Jason. Now sounds like you know what to do then, right? I do now the bunker decay removal system. The number 1 question. When will you do that? My answer, we shall see. That's my talk. Thank you very much.
Okay. Well, we are running just a little behind the schedule, but we should be fair with Dr. Chao. So let me open the floor for discussion if you have any questions. We have a very polite audience this morning. If not, let me just tell you that on Wednesday afternoon we have plenary session number 2. There's 1 presentation that may corroborate what Jason Chao told you this morning. In other words, there are some plants that really survived. Okay, so we invite you to come to the plenary session. All right, thank you very much. So with this, may I suggest we have maybe a 10 minutes break and then come back by 10:40. Okay? Thank you.
太好，谢谢。